let's chat. Let's chit chat for a bit. So I wanted to do this, and you really were at the top of the list of companies, brands that I really wanted to talk to and sort of tap into the heart of. I promise y'all this is not going to be long, and it's not going to be boring. But it's not going to be standard questions either. It's really about our experience together. And so our relationship is new, but I've known you and I've been following. The brand has such an affinity in my heart, and many people in the industry. But as you know, I've been working in the space with many beauty brands, and I had the opportunity to meet Christia Donaldson. And I'll tell you about my experience with her. Christia Donaldson, for you, those of you who may not know, is the founder of Thank God It's Natural. Yes, which is a brand dedicated to helping women solve their hair care challenges. I'll let you explain more, but solve their hair care challenges. But I met Christia at an industry event, and she was just so positive and so galvanizing and so much about the collective of beauty and everybody working together and getting in the boat and rising together. Like, yeah, we have all these independent brands, but if we come together, then we'll be able to leverage our power. And that was really how people saw her, and how she was, just so impactful beyond her own brand, but in the industry, elevating the collective. So that was my experience with her. And I remember when I first met her, she knew who I was, and she wanted to engage our services. So she was just really, just really forthright about what she was trying to do and what she wanted to do for everybody else, and we're not in any competition with any other brand. I just really loved her embracing everybody. So how do you feel that has that spirit has impacted your approach to managing the brand?
Before I get into that, can I thank you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I just want to thank you so much for giving TGIN the opportunity to sponsor this event. Thank you to the Boss Beauty team. Amina, you are amazing and inspiring. But
thank you. Thank you.
Back to your question. So for those of you who do not know, Christia was my aunt. So I sat under her for quite some time, watching her grow this business. And first it started out as just a passion. She just needed to find something that worked for her textured hair. And she was working in corporate America as an attorney. And so this started out as just something to do, and it has blossomed into this. But to your point, Christia always focused on the mission. Folks, she said, you know what, I just need to find a need. I need to find just something that works. So to your point of, competition and all of that, just focus on that.
Yeah, really all about solidarity and community. How do you feel being the youngest CEO of a multinational brand on the retail shelves in Target, in Walmart, in CVS, in Walgreens, in Rite Aid, in... How do you feel being the youngest CEO of any black-owned brand on the shelf today?
Can I be honest?
Please.
Okay, look, I wake up and I look in the mirror every morning. I'm a black woman. I'm 29 years old, and I have blue hair. So when I walk in the room, I remember that, and I show up as my true and authentic self, and I do not take it for granted. I do not take it lightly. So when I walk into a Walmart, when I walk into a Target, I'm like, oh my gosh, I still get chills, I still get overwhelmed. I'm like, that's us, that's me. So it's amazing.
And the reason why you are there and doing so well is because you have shown up as yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you are being authentic. Yes. Because it is elusive. They cannot duplicate it. Mm-hmm. So that is why they want your brands on the shelf, to invite somebody they would never be able to reach.
Absolutely.
So you have to show up as yourself.
Yes.
Yes. You get there and you have the imposter syndrome, or you walk into these places and we have to code switch or fake it, and then you spend all your time trying to remember all that stuff instead of really being in your authentic power.
Yes.
So it absolutely is, to your advantage for you to do that. So let's talk about this blue hair for a minute. This blue hair in this leather suit, cat suit.
Little pants, bodysuit situation.
Yes. Let's talk, get into it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the blue hair, when did I dye? I dyed my hair blue like 2019. We had just launched the Curls and Roses line. And I was just like, I want to do something different with my hair. So I cut all my hair off and dyed it blue. And I'm just like, and I just kept going with it. I'm like, okay, this works. But funny story, in June of 2021, I enrolled in grad school. I was like, I'm going to get my MBA. Yeah. So
self-inflicted.
So again, I've been working for the brand for years, but I didn't want to be the niece who worked for her aunt her entire career. So I was like, I'm going to get my MBA. I'm going to consulting. What do they say? Tell God your plans. Yeah, and that
Watch and laugh.
That didn't work for me. But while I was going through grad school, I told Christy, I said, you know, I'm going to dye my hair back its natural color because I don't want to, you know, show up in the room with blue hair. When I tell you I got cussed out that day,
See?
cussed out. She was like, she was like, if you touch your hair, it's on site. So that just really spoke to me, and I'm like, you know what? This is my blue hair. I'm showing up, and since then I show up as my true and authentic self. I ain't changing for nobody. I ain't dimming nothing down.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all feel that?
Blue hair and long nails. Okay, that's what
She just rolled her eyes at me, and I'm on your side. Okay, I'm with you. I'm rocking my braids down the front. Okay. Call me Fromina. Okay. So now you've had a long journey at TGIN. Like you said, you didn't want to work, you know, for your aunt all the time. You started out intern, then you moved, and you've done all these. You've had all these other roles, but now you're the CEO, Chief Executive Officer.
That's me.
How you feel about it? How are you feeling? Tell them the truth now, because I know what you told me.
Overwhelmed, but in a good way.
Yeah.
But I will admit, this is not an easy job, and I make sure I let people know, like, hey, you know, this ain't easy. This is not easy, especially being young, black. To your point, imposter syndrome. So it's like I walk in rooms and I see people who do not look like me, and it's like I have a moment. I'm just like, oh God. I have a little mini panic attack. But I pull it together and I show up. But
It's feeling overwhelmed. So what are you doing about it?
keep God at the forefront, if we're being honest.
Yes.
Every day I wake up, it's a challenge. Retailers need something. My team is counting on me. You all, the consumers, y'all counting on me. So I have to make sure, you know, I show up. And honestly, it's not easy. Christia passed a year and a half ago, and I'm gonna just be honest and transparent. I still have not grieved yet. I had to wake up the day after she passed. I had to tell my team, you know, before it got out in the media. I had to let retailers know, and they're looking at, and Christia was very involved with the retailers, so they're like, who? I'm like, it's me. Just give me a second. And y'all, look, payroll had to be processed that week, so I have not had a break.
Yeah.
But I'm truly grateful for the journey, and I have a really, really amazing support system. Now, if I cry, y'all just.
It's okay.
I have a really amazing support system. I have an amazing team.
Can y'all see her?
My family.
The support spot over here in the corner.
My mother, who is also my COO. So we have a business and a really great personal relationship. My dad.
I'm the dad, y'all.
It's like my biggest cheerleader and my bonus mom. So they really, and my sister, who also works for the company. So I have a really great village.
I love it. I love it. So in those feelings of overwhelm, you know, what is it that you find to be the most challenging for you right now?
Really, this market is competitive. It's a really competitive market, and there's always someone new, something new coming in. So trying to stay relevant, new innovation, making sure your retailers are happy. So When I tell you I'm here, I'm in a retailer meeting, retailer said, I need to see you more on social. This other retailer is saying, when you gonna come with a new line? I'm like, but this line's working. And
You gotta future-proof it.
right, and then you have Miss Data Diva over here saying, hey, the data says this, so you need to move on this. So it's a lot. Like I said, I have an amazing team, but it's always something.
Yeah.
It's always something.
You mentioned that it's a very competitive market, so you're getting pressure in this multicultural space from the big boys.
Yes.
You know, they're encroaching, and then you have a lot of new small brands that are also taking the approach of making that authentic connection to consumers as well. So how do you find your niche? What is it that you stand on for the differentiation and your unique value for the brand?
Stick to the mission.
Which is?
The mission is redefining beauty so women show up as the best version of themselves. That's it. And if whatever it is I'm into, if it don't align with that vision, then I can't do it. Now, we do want to stay with the trends, and again, that's why we have Miss Ramita Brown on the team. So you want to stay with the trends and stay with the data, but still sticking to our mission and staying in our lane. So you're not going to see me over here, over there. I'm gonna stick to the path.
Right. So let's talk about that just for let's hang there for 1 second. So you talk about, you know, understanding the business, analyzing it so you can make sure that you're on task, in line with what your mission is as you move forward. So talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you're having to do, the tough decisions that you're having to make, the tough things that you're having to do now in terms of setting up the business for success in the future.
So TGIN is growing. We are growing, and in 1 year we did ×3. So
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a hand clap.
Okay.
That's applause. When you do 3x growth in a very competitive market, you know, that's
3X.
growing pains too.
Absolutely.
So let's handle the purpose.
But we were still functioning as a small business.
Yeah.
So I had to go back while we're growing exponentially. While we're growing, I had to go back and put different processes in place, different, again, data. It worked for us, but for years we kind of just, okay, this is what we're going with. But I had to go back and put in, you know, I had to get the right people in the right seats. And it was difficult, being that I've worked for the brand for so long, so a lot of the people that were with us were my colleagues. Then I became CEO, and they couldn't differentiate the two.
Yeah.
So seeing people that you've worked with your entire career, and that you have a personal relationship, and you have to see those people go.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling because I'm like, okay, I have to do for my business, but I also have a personal relationship.
They say human resources
Yeah.
the toughest to manage, actually managing the human resources.
The people are the
People gonna people.
people be people. And that's the most challenge. And I love people.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love people.
Ooh, you're ahead of the game. Because me, on the other hand,
You're like, give me the numbers.
I do like the numbers, but that's why choosing the team around you matters.
Yes.
You know, having the right team. I'll do it by myself before you get the wrong people around you. Right. So I'm glad I got the right ones. So tell me, what's your biggest wish for the brand as we come to a close here? 5 to 10 years, what's your biggest wish for the brand?
Well, we're actually on the way to it, global expansion.
Yes.
But yes. But I want TGIN to be a household name. So when you think of natural hair care, when that question comes up, I want TGIN to be the answer. And I want to, again, stick to our unique value propositions and being intentionally formulated. Someone came up to me at this event and they said, you know, you're intentional. And it just really struck a nerve. I said, oh.
You want to cry?
Yes. So just really sticking to that. And again, you know, with the trends, it can be a challenge where you're like, oh, I want to play over here, I want to play over here. So no, staying intentional.
Staying intentional and global expansion.
That's it.
Anything else you want to share with the people today that's on your heart?
Again, this can be really overwhelming.
Yes.
The change, but I just appreciate all of you for showing up. The people who came up to me and said, "Oh, I love TGIN." I told people that really keeps me going more than you know it. So when you share in person, share on Instagram, and tell me how proud you are, that I don't take it lightly. So please keep it up. But I really appreciate it.
And that's so funny too, because that really is what differentiates you. People being able to reach out and touch you and feel your authenticity, and it's the community. And that is elusive. It cannot be duplicated. And that's why brands win and thrive, and we see so many of the brands that are winning today, like TGIN.
Okay.
So we're here for it. I'm in your corner. I've got you, girl. We got you. You're gonna be over-serviced by SSI. So thank you so much for joining us today. Dr. Piper, is there anything you'd like to say?
That's my baby, y'all.
This is the COO watchman. Watchman on duty. She was put in place to have your back.
Oh yeah, she
Right.
don't play
That's my
about me.
ride
So
right there.
look, if you try me, you gotta see her
Uh-oh.
and my daddy and my mom.
You look gang related over there.
And I'm from Detroit, so it is what it is.
Okay, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap it up. Shut it down. But seriously, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Your
Great
birthday,
war
it's
I'm
time to
having up
party.
here. Thank you. Huh?
It's time to party. It's time to party. Let's get it.
DJ.
You'll get